The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Alabama Politics. This week, I am Dale Jackson. I'm a radio talk show host. You can hear my shows Monday through Friday from 5 to 9 a.m. on WVNN in Huntsville. You can also hear my show News and Views from 10 until 11 on Talk 99.5 in Birmingham and on News Radio 1440 in Montgomery. And then it's replayed at 10 p.m. on WVNN in Huntsville. If you can't sleep, you can probably listen to that. Mecca Musick is with me as well. She is the CEO of 256today.com, smart news for smart people, and we've got a lot of smart stuff to talk about here today. James Lomax will be with us. He is a state representative. He's actually my mom's state representative, and she has a lot of notes for him that I'm going to share here in just a bit with him. But I also have a parting shot for you about a border czar, if we even have one. But we'll get to all of that in a little bit. Right now, though, let's go ahead and get to the 2-minute warning. All right, Mecca, is this where they get Trump? Oh, wait, that's a completely different story that we've been talking about for the last 2 years. It turns out it's not. He was sworn in this week, and it has been a barn burner of a week. Now, I've made no bones on this show about the idea that Trump wasn't my ideal pick for a Republican candidate, but I did vote for him in the general election. And I got to tell you, what he's done so far, pretty good. So I always ask, how's he doing? I mean, how's he doing right now?
Is that going to be the new bit? How's he doing instead of is this where they're getting?
How's he doing?
Okay, so, I mean, whether you agree or disagree with what he's doing, he is doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yeah. Now, even on the things I dislike, like people say, oh, you shouldn't have pardoned those January 6 people. It's like, he said it.
He said he was going to do it, and he did.
That's the thing that kind of amuses me about how the media's kind of covered this thing. They have not taken into account that he had already said all this and told them, and now they bring people on, and they're like, well, why did he do this? Like, because he told you he would. Because he told you to do all these things. And
well,
you didn't like it then.
There's not pushback. There has been pushback, but my question to you is, does it mean anything? Does it matter? I mean, even some Republican pushback on some of these things, like the pardons.
I push back on the pardons a little bit because I don't like the idea that they are just blanket pardons. If you beat up a cop, you should be in jail.
Right.
Okay,
and I think that's a lot of what that pushback in that situation has been.
But here's the thing: this is where I find myself a little bit different than some of the pushback because I'm going to be reasonable about it. Getting 15 years for pushing a cop down and fighting with cops, okay, we all agree that you shouldn't do that. But when they're burning cities down and fighting cops and stuff, are they getting 15 years? No, they're not. This was
so you just want it equal.
Yeah, and I think that they overcharge these people. Mm-hmm. And because of that, I think a lot of people are fine with the blanket pardon. Let's move on. But apparently we're not going to move on. Listen to me. January 6th was on the ballot. And the people who were freaking out about it lost. Mm-hmm. Okay? The people who said, let's move on, won. So it is time to move on. To answer my own question, how's he doing? I would say an A-. I got a problem with the way he handled that. The pardon of Russ Ulbricht. Look that up. That is an obscene pardon across. It's nuts. The guy ran a dark website. He solicited murder, solicited was a part of.
It was very based apparently in libertarian beliefs. That was the claim.
Trump is transactional. That was the libertarian thing. Oh, why should drugs be illegal? It's like, okay, well, yeah, we get it, but why should you not have a job? Go figure something else out with your life. And the libertarians, they got that. That was their transactional thing. And by the way, congratulations, libertarians. Your thing was letting a guy who was a conspiracy to commit murder out of jail. Huge win for you guys. Let's move on. Let's talk about two United States senators from the great state of Alabama, Tommy Tuberville and Katie Britt. Now, these guys are wildly popular. Not just here in the state of Alabama, but I think across the country they're known and people know who they are. And normally you're going to have some popularity amongst your elected officials. Obviously, you've elected them. Everyone says they hate Congress, but they love their members of Congress.
Right.
And this is a situation where these two are both kind of uniquely popular here. And I'm not surprised by this.
There was like a popularity poll, if you will, that came out. Just that's what we're referencing. We didn't just make up the fact that they are popular. What is interesting...
What an explanation. Thank you. I think they could have pieced that together, but go ahead.
You know how a problem is you don't explain things.
I know.
Okay, so what is interesting to me about this, though, is they have vastly different modes of operation.
Yeah.
but they're very successful.
Style and substance, they're very different.
Exactly. Very, very different, but I would say both very popular and very effective, which is very interesting.
It's kind of interesting. It's always kind of been this way in Alabama. You had Jeff Sessions and you had Richard Shelby. Shelby was more the establishment guy. Britt is considered to be the establishment guy.
More the insider,
Yeah, same thing. Sessions and Tuberville are considered these outsiders who are kind of hardliners on a couple of issues, some social issues and things like that. But you know what? Britt is leading the way on immigration. She's leading the way on pro-life stuff. So if you wanted to bolster her base cred, this is exactly how you do this with these two bills that she's pushed here recently. She got the first bill, the Lake and Riley Act is the first bill that Trump will sign. And they're going to make a big deal about this. And I continue to reference this because I am convinced that somebody with access to Shamari Figures and Terry Sewell will one day ask this question. I realize that nobody in the state of Alabama's media is worth a damn, which is why I'm Alabama's most trusted journalist. But with access to ask this question, it needs to be asked. Why did Terry Sewell vote against this exact same bill before this election and for it now? I don't care why she got to the right position, but I want to see if she knows. That's my question. Does she know why she changed her position on this?
Since you're going off topic, can I go off topic as well?
Sure.
I also recently heard, how we're talking about Tuberville might run for governor.
Yeah.
Apparently he's not joking.
No.
It is a serious consideration.
You know when you could have brought that up?
Out there.
You know when you could have brought that up? Right now. Let's talk a little bit about a clean lottery bill here in the great state of Alabama. There's a discussion of this, and Tommy Tuberville actually said, hey, the people should get a chance to vote on this, and he wouldn't be surprised if he did. I talked to some legislators this week, and they said, yeah, he doesn't have a pulse of the legislature because the legislature does not want to do this. You're hearing a lot from the House saying it's going to have to come out of the Senate, and the Senate's going, well, I don't think we have the votes. I don't think we have the votes to get this done the way that it is. We'll talk with James Lomax about this, about the State House side of this and what he knows, but the question is about the pulse of the legislature. If you ask them, hey, do you want a lottery? They're all going to say, yeah, of course people want a lottery. Hey, do you want casino gambling? And they're like, well, that's a little more complicated. And you're going to have to marry these things together at this point in order to get this done.
Well, there's just not that groundswell of support that is needed to pass something like this in Alabama.
No, that's incorrect. The groundswell of support amongst the people exists.
No, but not enough. They're not telling their lawmakers.
They're not yelling at their legislature.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fair.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it takes to get something like this passed. And if that's not happening, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. They're going to. You've got to have people basically in the buses down there at the legislature and
the signs.
At the signs, and they're going to have to be more than just teachers unions saying, "Give us money for education." It's going to have to be more people saying, and guess what? The lottery doesn't get people fired up. If you ask me, do you want the lottery? Yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, that's.
I know you're against sports betting, but have you seen the social media ads that are actually?
I'm not against sports betting.
In Alabama,
I'm not against sports betting in Alabama.
You are. I thought you said that on the show.
I'm not against sports betting. I think it needs to be heavily regulated, and I think it needs to exist in a way that we can make sure that we aren't having kids do it. That's always been my position. I love gambling. I'm a degenerate.
I know
what are you talking about?
But there's ads on social media right now in Alabama talking about the amount of money that is, crossing state lines just in sports betting alone. I mean, we talk about the lottery, but in sports betting as well.
Correct. That is happening.
Yeah.
And I think at this point in time, we have to have a conversation about how you're going to regulate all of this. I don't even know if you can. I mean, the simple fact of the matter is, I could go to any website I want right now and gamble on sports. You know why I know that? Because I do it. All right, let's move on and let's have a conversation about the next thing. Elon Musk. I almost said it the wrong way. You did not see this coming. What did you not see coming? Him throwing up a Nazi salute. You know why you didn't see it? Because it didn't happen. This is the most ridiculous thing. I watched this story develop from the very beginning, and I thought to myself, this is a dumb internet thing. Okay, that's all this is. This is a dumb internet thing, and there's sometimes dumb internet things make it into the mainstream, and this absolutely did. You have AOC talking about this like it's a real thing. It is not a real thing. This is the most absurd story I've ever seen. They have pictures of Tim Walz doing the exact same thing. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, we can go on and on and on about this.
Well, the Anti-Defamation League came out and said, no, it's not a Nazi salute. I mean, there's other people also saying
right. If there was somebody sitting over there and I was like, hey, how are you doing? And someone took a still photo of this right here, guess what? Now I'm a Nazi. And I mean, that's as simple.
Someone is going to.
That's
just
fine.
So you know, that is going to happen.
And that's
We're about to see that.
And it's completely fine because that's stupid. Can I just play this out away for a second? Let's say Elon Musk is sympathetic with Nazis. Let's say he loves Nazis. In fact, he's got Mein Kampf next to his bed and he's reading it every single night. He loves Nazis and Hitler. He can't get enough. He is in love with him. He loves him. He is in love with him.
Got it.
Okay. So now he wants everyone to know that. And he picked, this is the moment he's going to expose that to the whole world. He's going to throw out a Nazi salute in this situation. How can I derail everything that I'm working on? Oh, I guess I'll throw up a Nazi salute at an inaugural rally. What a brilliant idea. Or maybe it was just an accident and his Nazi slipped out. Can we just use our brains for a second on this kind of stuff?
I mean, there is a theory that he was just trolling, everyone as well.
No. He was saying Tim Walz did the exact same thing. He patted his heart and went like that. There it is again. There's your still photo. You can grab it again.
Before we run out of time on the topic, I would want to say I hated the pun. That was terrible, terrible, terrible pun.
Did you see it coming? Or would you say you did not see it coming?
Did not.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, thank you. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll have James Lomax with us. We'll try to put this back on track here on Alabama Politics this week.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Join the Fox 54 sports team for local highlights and insights. Stream Fox 54 Sports Extra anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom, Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improve range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. Call the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. If you have Medicare or private insurance, call to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. U.S. Med is the #1 rated supplier on Google and Facebook reviews. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. U.S. Med. Better service. Better care.
WVNN is the only radio station of relevance in North Alabama with the most live and local talk you'll find anywhere. Start your day with the Dale Jackson Show every morning at 5 a.m., followed by the Yeffy program at 9. Dan Bongino is up at 11. Right Side Radio starts your afternoons at 2. And Mark Levin takes you home at 5 p.m. It's the best news talk anywhere. And it's only on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new Care Watch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The Care Watch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and
much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. The Care Watch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your Care Watch right now. Operators are standing by.
Get Fox 54 Plus everywhere you stream. Watch local newscasts live or on your schedule, plus exclusive specials like Weekend Review, a recap of the week's top stories. Fox 54 Plus, live, local, and always on.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics this week. I am Dale Jackson. Thank you very much for being here. With me, as always, Mecca Musick. And our guest this week is James Lomax. He's my mom's state representative.
The state representative from District 2020, not 2020. You were elected in 2022. So you're not the new kid anymore, right?
Well, I guess I'm still considered a freshman.
Yeah, he's a freshman.
You know, I get the benefit of
freshman.
That's right. You know, his mom's state representative, which comes with its own level of prestige.
Absolutely, it does.
I've got some notes for you at the end of the program.
Talk to me a little bit about your goals in this upcoming legislative session.
Absolutely. So I've had the opportunity to kind of get my feet wet, you know, with 2 sessions. We had a couple special sessions in there. So this is definitely not my first rodeo going down here. The majority leader tasked me this last year with being the co-chair of the platform committee. So I had to basically take our caucus and come up with an agenda of what's going to be important for us to pass next year, along with my co-chair, Bubba Underwood, out of the Florence area. So that was an interesting process. We got to hear from the entire caucus on what's really important to them, and I think we're about to see a rollout of kind of that package. But a lot of it mirrors what's going on in our nation right now. People are concerned about immigration. They're concerned about public safety. I'd like to talk more about that and the package of bills I think you're going to be seeing here soon. And then they want to be talking about their education system. I think that's something that's top of mind. Me having 2 little young daughters, I mean, that's always top of mind. So I think you're going to be proud of the product you see out of our legislature.
Let's talk about the immigration thing here for a second. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but Alabama tried this before, and the federal government was like, you can't do that.
Right.
We got a different federal government. We've got a different Supreme Court. We got a different judicial system. By the time it gets into the court system, there'll be plenty more Trump appointees up there. Is this something the Alabama legislature really wants to get into?
I think it's something we have to get into. I mean, you know, you haven't seen as much of it in Huntsville per se, which I'm very proud we're here, and we're kind of limited and insulated from a lot of these problems. But you are seeing it in your more rural areas, where these technically legal programs that the federal government set up under the Biden administration or the Biden administration took advantage of is burdening these small towns. I mean, they're just absolutely overblowing the infrastructure. You know, they're busing individuals in, they're sending them to work in these factories, and then they're burdening the local economy. So that's something we absolutely are going to have to take up, we're going to have to look at, and we're going to have to see if the federal government's willing to play ball, which after this last week, I think they will.
Now, Representative Lomax, you're also playing a big role in the workforce development. Talk to us about that role and what you expect in this coming year.
You know, workforce is absolutely important. I think, you know, you see it here in the city of Huntsville. You really see it all across the state. But we have a problem with our workforce participation rate. You know, only 57% of active-bodied members of our society in working age are out there actually working. So we got to figure out that gap. Why is 43% of the people just either choosing not to work or not able to work? And that's something I was very excited to get on, is when the speaker appointed me to the Alabama Workforce Board. It's a mixture. It's a public-private board. So you have a lot of members of public businesses, large businesses, small businesses throughout our state, trying to come together, organizations that help people get to work, to figure out what is the problem. How can we blend higher education? How can we blend tech schools, trade schools, high schools? How can we get into the
child care?
Child care is a big portion of it. Transportation is a big portion of it. How can we get them to work?
What are some of the solutions you are looking at?
Well, the biggest thing is making sure people are aware that we have jobs available and that they are qualified for them, or they can get qualified for them. You know, that's one of the biggest things, is we have more jobs available than we have the people. So that also parlays into this discussion over health care. You know, it's amazing how jobs and economic development can actually spur a lot of these things. You know, most of the employers in the state of Alabama, I mean, you look at a place like Amazon that provides a lot of jobs, Toyota Mazda here in the Huntsville area. These are jobs that you can come at with little to no skill. you can be trained, and at the end of the day, you can have health insurance. So it really solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, we got a lot of people coming into the community wanting to bring in companies and things like that, but that sort of hits a tipping point if you don't have people to fill those jobs. And so that becomes a bigger problem across the other employment that is in the area. So I can understand why you're focusing on that. You mentioned the crime situation. This has been an issue that's been discussed. There's been a plan in Montgomery where there's been a little bit of working together going on there, but you haven't seen that anywhere like Birmingham or Bessemer or anything like that. There's been some talk of maybe taking it over, mandate, installing with the Attorney General or the Governor leadership in those police departments or sheriff's offices.
Right.
Is that a real thing?
Well, I think Senator Sam Gavan actually had a very cogent point on your radio show when he mentioned recently that, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Because let's say we go take over a police department in the city of Bessemer and appoint a new police chief from the state. Well, who's going to support that police chief? Is anyone going to actually listen to him? Is the mayor going to support him in that community? So, I think it works best when the local community is rallying behind their police department and supporting their police department. But what we can do, and I know what we are looking at, is the Metro Task Force. And that's something that was put together in the city of Montgomery and has actually reaped dividends. I mean, we've seen it work. And that's a major issue, going back to what you just said, recruiting businesses to the state of Alabama. If there's high crime, that's going to be a problem. Downtown Montgomery is a great example. Small businesses cannot thrive in an area with active crime. It's not just a safety issue. It becomes an economic development issue. Insurance premiums go up, becomes more expensive.
Right before I was going to interrupt you here real quick because I know Mecca has a question. Right before that became a thing in Montgomery, I was down there as the legislature, and one of these staffers was like, get in here. Like, it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, you got to get in here. It's not safe out here. Yeah. Outside the Capitol. I was like, this is crazy.
Well, look at me, Dale. I weigh $150. I'm a prime candidate for a hugging. So it's top of mind for me, and
and you carry nothing but cash.
That's right. Nothing but cash and singles, and but that is part of the problem. It really becomes a much bigger issue, and it's funny because as areas begin to decline, guess what? Crime actually goes up even further. So it just parlays into it.
So the company or the community buy-in that they need to be a part of this solution, wanting this, are you coming across any pushback, or do you expect any pushback to these sort of initiatives like the success that was in Montgomery? Is that going to be hard to replicate in other areas of Alabama?
It's something we have to try no matter what. And I think, a lot of these communities are looking at it. Huntsville really should be a model. In Huntsville, we do it the right way. The city is supporting their police department, and guess what? Our recruitment numbers are coming up. The ability to get things done from that perspective matters.
The real quick question, yes or no, lottery vote going to happen in the legislature?
Maybe a comprehensive.
Maybe. Yes or no?
I'm willing to take a bet on that. Legally.
There we go. Thank you very much. James Lomax, we appreciate you. State Representative in the Huntsville area, District 20. Thanks for being here. As for this show, Mecca's leaving, so the show's going to get so much better. I've got a parting shot for you. Stay tuned.
Get Fox 54 Plus everywhere you stream. Watch local newscasts live or on your schedule, plus exclusive specials like Weekend Review, a recap of the week's top stories. Fox 54 Plus, live, local, and always on.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom, Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
What if you could make a free phone call and reduce your car payment by as much as $83 a month? Right now, you could be paying as high as 20% interest. Your new interest rate could be reduced to as low as 2.48%. You can refinance any existing car loan or leased car and save money every month. Take 5 minutes of your time right now. Make this free phone call and learn how to save hundreds of dollars a year by refinancing your existing car loan.
Attention! This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
Call 877-744-0750. That's 877-744-0750. 877-744-0750.
WVNN is the only radio station of relevance in North Alabama, with the most live and local talk you'll find anywhere. Start your day with the Dale Jackson Show every morning at 5 a.m., followed by the Yeffy program at 9. Dan Bongino is up at 11. Right Side Radio starts your afternoons at 2. And Mark Levin takes you home at 5 p.m. It's the best news talk anywhere. And it's only on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. Call the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. If you have Medicare or private insurance, call to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. U.S. Med is the #1 rated supplier on Google and Facebook reviews. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. U.S. Med. Better service. Better care.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Join the Fox 54 sports team for local highlights and insights. Stream Fox 54 Sports Extra anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
Well, welcome back to Alabama Politics this week. I am Dale Jackson. Thank you very much for being here. Before I get into the parting shot, which will be about a border czar, which we actually have now, I want to tell you a little bit about Yellowhammer News. Head on over to yellowhammernews.com. Sign up for my email blast. You'll get the 7 things you should be talking about today, every single day, delivered directly into your email inbox. So go check that out, yellowhammernews.com. Right now, though, let's go ahead and get to the parting shot. My parting shot this week is directed at all the people who told us we don't have a border czar for the last year or so once Kamala Harris became the nominee and she was all of a sudden not supposed to be responsible for anything she claimed she was going to do. And now we do have a border czar, and his name is Tom Homan. And my God, he is already doing a better job than anyone in the Biden administration ever could have hoped to. The numbers down at the border for those coming across are down to 766 in the first 3 days. 766 people a day as opposed to 10,000 to 12,000 that we were seeing before. There's no other way to look at this other than a success. And I think this is a kind of a lesson. So gather your kids around here for just a second, and I'm going to help them with a lesson that we can all learn from this that's going to help them in their lives. Ready? Here it is. Try. That's it. That's all you have to do. The reason this unfettered illegal immigration was coming into this country was because it was unfettered. They had absolutely no desire to actually stop it. They could have stopped it at any time. Their rhetoric could have been against it, and they could have acted to stop it, and they chose not to. And that's why you saw a change in leadership in this country. You can say it wasn't a landslide or whatever you want, but the people spoke very clearly. And look at Terry Sewell's vote. I talked about it earlier. There's a reason why she changed her view. She can't explain it, but there is a reason why she changed her view. And that very much is clear. We'll talk to you next week right here on Alabama Politics This Week. Have a good one.
WVNN is the only radio station of relevance in North Alabama with the most live and local talk you'll find anywhere. Start your day with the Dale Jackson Show every morning at 5 a.m., followed by the Yeffy program at 9. Dan Bongino is up at 11. Right Side Radio starts your afternoons at 2. And Mark Levin takes you home at 5 p.m. It's the best news talk anywhere. And it's only on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.